Israel, a land promised by God to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and their seed forever, from the Golan Heights, the fertile valleys of Galilee, the beautiful Mediterranean Sea, the heights of Jerusalem, to the lowest place on earth, the Dead Sea, the mountainous deserts of the Negev, and on the southern tip, the Red Sea, the focal point of the earth. At times it seems like a third world country, with Bedouins shepherding their flocks, camels grazing. They live in very poor tin shacks. No running water, no electricity, no indoor plumbing. Living a very simple life. At other times, we have lush, irrigated farmland in fertile valleys and high-tech technology. PillCam by Given Imaging, the cell phone by Motorola, AOL Instant Messenger, NT Technology by Microsoft, and Intel's Sereno chip were all developed here in Israel with beautiful, modern cities, such as the one here in Ashdod. The Mediterranean seacoast, here at the northern border of Lebanon. You can see the banana trees in the background, the irrigation ponds, beautiful beaches, such as the one here in Haifa, and national parks with many wonderful archaeological remains. Reminders of a distant past, ashen remains, left as examples unto those who live ungodly in this world, such as here in Sodom and Gomorrah. Surrounded by 21 Arab countries, with 50 times more people and 800 times more land, the Israel Defense Forces, the IDF, created to protect Israel from its enemies. Founded in 1948, with ground, air, and navy. Men and women are all drafted at age 18. Men serve for 3 years, women for 21 months. And then afterwards they're assigned a reserve unit. Men up to age 51 serve up to 39 days a year or longer if an emergency, such as the one here in El Ram in 1973. Yom Kippur War, October 6, 1973.
בשעה 1:50 של יום הכיפורים נפתחת מתקפה של צבאות מצרים וסוריה על ישראל בהפגזה ארטילרית כבדה.
The seventh month of God, the 10th day. The Day of Atonement, God's holy day. Egypt and Syria launched a surprise attack on Israel at 1:50 p.m. In the Golan Heights, there were 150 Israeli tanks versus 1,400 Syrian tanks.
הטנקים הסורים, יש להם מערכת אינפרה אדומה. על כל טנק סורי, פרוז'קטור.
Suez region, 500 Israel soldiers versus 80,000 Egyptian soldiers.
אנחנו לא מסוגלים להיות בעין בלתי נגררת. הוא מצודד שמאלה ימינה למעלה.
Israel was initially overwhelmed. Egypt and Syria had both advanced 15 miles inland.
וכמובן פוגע.
But by the end of the second day, all seemed lost for Israel.
חוסר אונים שכזה לא היה לי מעולם.
On the third day, Israeli forces counterattacked in the Sinai and also pushed back the Syrian military. Having only 2 tanks left, Israel was amazed that the Syrian tanks retreated. But why did they retreat? We heard 2 different stories. We were told that the Syrian assumed that the Israelis had more tanks since they didn't run. We also heard that although Israel had only 2 tanks left, the Syrians actually saw many and retreated. But after all, God had fought for them before. The Yom Kippur War was a retaliation of the 1967 Six-Day War, which was a humiliating defeat for the Arab countries who attacked Israel. The 1967 Six-Day War victory enabled Israel to unify Jerusalem, capture the Sinai, the Golan Heights, the Gaza Strip, and the West Bank. People come from all over the world to the Golan Heights, to the Valley of Tears, to see where this battle was fought. Wherever you go in Israel, you will see the Israeli Defense Forces. You know, you guys letting everybody through because we're here?
Are you watching these guys? That might
I
be
know.
the crooks. What's that?
Don't you know it?
Oh, sunflower seeds?
Yes.
My dad grows them on his farm.
Check from the... Feel free.
You want some more? What are you gonna do with them?
Eat it. They say that one of the tribes got to somehow to Ethiopia, and those are the Jews that just came here as immigrants.
Ah.
That's it. 2 minutes.
That's it.
Are you Jewish?
Yeah, of course.
And you're Jewish?
There are even people who are like this, you know?
Chinese?
Yes, lots of Jewish.
Jewish Chinese?
Yes,
Really?
can't imagine it.
Can't imagine it either.
Every few years. But you should book Jermaine because I look much better than him.
On the television, it says that the soldier.
Hey, we don't even
This is
watch
a soldier.
CNN here. We don't do CNN.
Neither do we.
No.
We're at the news, NBC.
No, we don't like them either.
NBC. Who like the Jewish people the most?
Fox. Who likes the Jewish
Fox.
people the
You
most?
watch Fox too? I watch Fox too. Okay, let's do it. Say it. We'll send it to Fox News, okay?
Okay.
Which news do you like best?
I think Fox is the best.
Me too.
Great.
Which program?
I never watch Fox.
The population is comprised of 77% Jews, 16% Muslim, 2.1% Christian, 1.6% Druze, and 3.6% not classified. Their young people are very much like the young people of the United States, with cultures seeming quite diverse from each other, with streets full of conversation and activity. The houses are made of concrete and stone. These houses are located in Zikron Yaakov, where we stay. Beautiful houses, wonderful flowers. The house here was empty. Houses are very expensive here. This house was selling for $360,000 US. Welcome to Caesarea, or as the Bible says, Caesarea. This is the most ancient of all theaters found in Israel. Built in Herod's time, it continued to be in use for hundreds of years and could accommodate 4,000 spectators. The orchestra area was decorated with Marblite plaster and renewed several times. Caesarea is a city that Herod the Great dedicated to Caesar Augustus more than 2,000 years ago. Once the site of a Phoenician port, over the course of 12 years, Herod built Caesarea into the grandest city other than Jerusalem in Israel. Pontius Pilate in Jesus' time also has a history here. Pontius Pilatus, the prefect of Judea, erected a building dedicated to the Emperor Tiberius. The Great Revolt of 66 to 70 CE started in Caesarea when the Jewish and Syrian communities began fighting over a pagan ceremony conducted on Shabbat near the entrance of a synagogue. The Romans ignored the Jewish protests of this provocation, and violence soon spread throughout the country. When the Romans finally quelled the revolt, we remember this as the destruction of the Second Temple. The book of Acts repeatedly speaks about Caesarea. One of the instances was there was a man named Cornelius, and he was a man of God, but he was a Gentile. Then Peter also had a vision. His vision was this. He said, "Of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons, but in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him." Paul was held prisoner in Caesarea, and he went in the court with King Agrippa, told him of his testimony, where on the road to Damascus he saw Jesus, and he told him the story, and afterwards King Agrippa said, "Almost thou persuadest me to be a Christian." These palace floors tell many tales, and as you can see, many of them are written in the Greek language. Koine Greek was a language of the day. Koine means common. During the time of Jesus, there were 3 languages in Israel. There was Roman, which is Latin, Koine Greek, and Hebrew. This is the bathhouse built long after Herod.